question number 3, grade 10, it really as follows. The graphs of f of x equals to ax squared plus q, and g of x equals to 3 divided by x minus 1. X is greater than 0, meaning x is positive. Draw below. Then A is the x-intercept and point of intersection of both graphs. Then B, the coordinate, which is the turning point of f of x. CD is the vertical line. We can see this is a vertical line. Then now, guys, before we can answer this question, we need to make sure that we understand our equation. So now, what is the equation, or what is the type of the graph for f of x? For f of x, my good people, meaning when you see equation like this one, you must know that it is what y equals to ax squared plus q. Okay, so now this equation is a parabola. This is a parabola. Then what you need to know about the parabola, remember that it has this equation. Therefore, this A, we know that this is the shape. A is the shape of the graph. So now, meaning you must know the first one. When you see A that is greater than 0, you must also know that A will be positive. And at the moment that you have a positive A, your shape is going to be a happy face. Meaning we call what? We call a concave up. It's going to be a concave up. So a concave up, which is what? Which is a happy face. Okay? And at the moment that we have a happy face, you must know that the value of Q is going to be less than 0. Why? Because it will result as a negative. Then, number 2. The other thing that you must know, guys, the moment you have A that is less than 0, meaning the value of A is going to be negative. And at the moment you have a negative A, so which is now, this one will result, the shape will result as in what? As in a concave down. So concave down, it means this is what the one that we call a set face. And when we see a set face, you must know that the value of Q is going to be greater than 0, as it will be resulting as a positive. A positive, you guys. So now this is things that you need to know. Then now, number 3, we have this Q. So this Q, guys, is a turning point from the graph. This Q, the Q that you see here, this is a turning point. Meaning this is where the graph meet. Meaning here, this is a turning point. So you're going to know it's going to be 0 is to Q. And 0 is to Q, our turning point. Then again, question they will be asking you about number 4. They're going to ask you about a domain, to write the domain. For the domain, guys, you write only x element, real number. What about the range? The range, it is very important, meaning for the range, guys, we check first the value of Q. If Q is greater than 0, meaning you have a positive Q. So the range, it will be y is less than a positive Q. But the moment we have the Q that is less than 0, you must know the Q will be negative. When we have a negative Q, so y will be greater than a negative Q. This is how we write the domain creating chain. Okay? So now it's very important to understand those concepts. And again, guys, one thing that I'm going to tell you is very important. For distance, number 1, if you are dealing with x values, so what you are going to say for x values, meaning you're going to say a distance equals to x number 2 minus x1. But if you are dealing with y values, you're going to use this equation, which is a distance will be equals to y number 2 minus y number 1. So this is the information that you need to know about the parabola. Then what about for hyperbola? The second equation that we have, guys, the second equation here, this is a hyperbola. Then a hyperbola, what you have to know about a hyperbola, creating 10. A hyperbola equation is y equals to a divided by x plus q. Now, this one we called what we called a vertical, meaning there's no a vertical. But now, one thing that you must know, remember a, it is also the shape. Why we say is the shape, meaning number one, the moment you have a that is greater than 0, which is your a will be positive, and at the moment you have a positive a, therefore now you are going to have the curve on the first and also on the third quadrant. You're going to have curve on the third quadrant. But the number two, when you have a that is less than 0, meaning it will be negative, as well as you have a negative a. So you're going to have the curve on the second quadrant. This is the second quadrant, and also on the fourth quadrant. Then, okay, we can also continue, guys. We can continue about a hyperbola. So hyperbola, number 3, it has equations. It has equations of asymptotes. So now, equations of asymptotes, we have only 2, which is x equals to 0. This is one that we call a vertical because of we don't have it, meaning this is what a vertical asymptote. So every time you're going to write equals to 0, you're going to write equals to 0. Then y equals to the value of q, which is this one we call a horizontal asymptotes. Then number 4, we also have equations of axis of symmetry. So equations of axis of symmetry, guys, they also 2. They result in 2 parts, meaning a, we have the one that have a positive gradient. When they say a positive gradient, or sometimes they might say increasing. So when they are saying positive or increasing, you must know you're going to use this equation y equals to x plus c. B, the moment that they are asking about a negative gradient. So a negative gradient, guys, meaning for this one, they can also say a decreasing. So when it's a decreasing, you must know it's going to be y equals to negative x plus c. Number 5, we also have the domain. So the domain, guys, which is now what we have for the domain. The domain we have, we are looking for the x. So now, because of we don't have it, you write x element, real number. Then number 6, the range. The range, which means this is what the value of q. Therefore, you say y is not equals to positive q, or y element, real number. From there, you say positive q, negative infinity to positive q. So this is what are you going to do, grade 10. Okay, so I know sometimes they might even ask you about the transformation. So it is very important to understand the transformation, guys. So for transformation, it is divided into 2 parts. We have translation. So under translation, meaning it's either is going to be shift left, which is left, guys, it is positive. Then or shifting right. So the moment they shift right, therefore that means that one will be a positive, a minus. So the other it's shifting, shift up. So shift up meaning it's positive, but shifting down. Shift it down, it's minus. So this is what we have to know, guys. So shift it down, it's minus. I hope you can see all this information. Then what do we know again? What do we have to know again? Reflection. And that is very important, the reflection. Then reflection, number 1, we have reflection by x-axis. So reflection by x-axis meaning y will be negative. Number 2, reflection by y-axis. Therefore, x will be negative. This is what you have to